Hi, I'm just very pumped. Okay, so this is the third episode of Ask PK, where you ask me questions and I try to provide some value. And today's question is by Niyati, our very own Niyati, and she has a question which is a long one. Uh, this is a very very interesting topic. I think being a good listener. Why do we need to be a good listener? So I think it is a very natural tendency of the mind to want to express. Okay, so if you see, a lot of times we are tempted to express, we want to talk, but we are not too keen on listening. But if you see, deep relationships are formed or deep connections are formed only when a good listener is present. Okay, so let's, if you just think about five people or three people or that one person that you go to every time you have an issue, some kind of a problem in life, that person will be a good listener. In 99% of the cases, I'm sure that the person will be a good listener. When you go and share that problem with that person, it's almost as if the problem becomes his or her problem. That is the power of good listening. So that is why good listening is so essential. We all want to express and express, but there is no one to really hear you. And being a good listener is like giving that gift to the world, that okay, hey, you want to talk, I'm here to listen, because that is what people want to, that is what people want, right? They want a good listener. They want someone to hear what they are talking, right? So that is why good being a good listener is extremely important, because it forms deep relationships. It eases the life of the other person. It makes the life of the other person easier. Thirdly, it makes you in more kind and compassionate, I believe, because you're actually genuinely making an effort to be with the other person's thoughts and his opinions. And lastly, being a good listener helps you also understand your own, it helps you understand your own self. It helps you understand uh, certain thought patterns that come into your mind when the other person is talking. So basically, it also helps you to understand and learn more about yourself. That is why good listening is an extremely important skill set. It helps you to form deep relationships or deep connections with people. So now, how do we become a good listener? The first aspect, which I think I myself connect with the most, is genuine interest and curiosity. So for me, when the other person is talking, I'm genuinely very interested in what he or she has to say. Because if you are genuinely interested to hear what the other person is saying, you will more often than not be very attentive. You would give the complete attention. So that is one quality for me. And so if you can connect with that quality of having a genuine interest in what the other person is saying, again, just as a footnote, remember that you wanting to talk can also be out of insecurity. It can also be out of neediness, that okay, there is no audience, I want to express, but there is no audience. That is why there is this urge to talk and talk, right? So again, I'm generalizing, but this is one factor to consider, that this could be one way, in one thing because of which you want to talk all the time. It could be because you want to express and there has not really been an audience for you to listen, right? So taking genuine interest and curiosity, it enables you. So if you can connect with that quality, it will enable you to be a good listener, because there is so much to learn from the other person. There is so much of content that the other person has, so much of experiences. So can we learn from that? So genuine interest and curiosity is the first thing to remember. The second point is, being really present. So you might have to catch a flight in the next 2 hours, or maybe 2 hours back you had a really bad fight with a friend. Well, can you just leave that aside for a minute, or for 2 minutes, or for 30 minutes till the other person is talking to you? You probably can. So being really present, it's really really important. Okay, so His Holiness the Dalai Lama, I've heard stories that when he talks to people, it doesn't really matter who he is, such a global figure, such a respected figure, but when he is with you, he will ask you your name. He'll ask you what you do. He'll have a smile. So, he says, every time I meet a new person, I imagine as if I'm meeting an old friend. So what a beautiful line, right? So that's what connecting or good listening is all about. So it is again training yourself to be in the present moment. And again, meditation helps you do that. Yeah. So yes, meditation will enable you, or mindfulness will enable you to stay in the present moment. So when the other person is talking, there is nothing else to do in life, just be with that person. So I have this rule that I like to follow: FTFT and FTLT. I'll repeat. The rule is FTFT and FTLT. So what does this mean? It is a full form for the first time, and FTLT is for the last time. So FTFT for the first time, FTLT for the last time. So what does it mean? It means that when you are doing a particular act, in this case the act of listening, when you're doing a particular act, do as if you're doing it for the first time and you're doing it for the last time. Because when you have this in mind, these two things in mind, you're really present. So imagine riding a bicycle for the first time. You were really present. Okay, or even imagine if I gave you a cake and I told you that, okay, this will probably be the last cake that you will ever eat. You will actually enjoy eating the cake because you know that you are doing it for the last time. So having this in mind, FT and FTLT for the first time and for the last time really helps you to be in the present moment and with that person, and then be a good listener. That's the second point. The third point is mindfulness of your own thoughts. So now this could seem a bit contradictory, but just be with me and try to understand this. When you're talking to that other person, certain sets of emotions and certain sets of thoughts are obviously going to be triggered inside you. There could be positive thoughts of empathy, of compassion, of kindness, of love, of wanting to help, of forgiveness, of generosity. These are good people, so you want to have them. But there could also be thoughts of, let's say, impatience, or there could be thoughts of judgment, or there could be thoughts of restlessness. Yeah. So it's pretty okay. So how do we deal with these? So it could be confusing because when you're expected to be with that person, at the same time you're also expected to be with your own thoughts or with your own emotions. So suppose the next time you're talking to someone, or rather the other person is talking to you, and you have a feeling of impatience, just be aware of it. That, oh, there is impatience that is present in my mind right now, or oh, there is judgment that is present in my mind right now. Okay, now why do we need to be aware of that? Because only when we are aware of it can we take action that, oh, impatience is present, but hey, I am not going to act on this impatience, so I can release it gradually. Or anxiety is present, I can release it. Or judgment is present, I can release it. I can only release it, I can only let go of it only when I'm aware of it. And that's why awareness of your own thoughts or emotions that are triggered also helps. Because once you get aware of those, you can let go of those and then come back and be really present. Really be present in the conversation with the other person. So that's the third point. The fourth point is again just training yourself to be kind, connecting with that inner sense of kindness and compassion and love that we all have. The other person is trying to talk to you to give you some value, or maybe share his or her concern or grief, whatever it is. At that point of time, his only or her only expectation is for you to listen. So can you be kind enough to listen to that person? Because your kindness will help the other person. And again, like I said, deeper connections will be formed only when you're a good listener. So being kind is essential. If you can get in touch with that inner kindness, inner kind voice of yours, it will tell you that, hey, your thoughts are always going to be around you. You can choose to have them later when you're alone. But right now the other person needs you. Can you be with that person? So the second last point is kindness. Okay, and the last point is, knowing that it's a practice, right? So be kind to yourself. So this is specifically for your question, Niyati. Be kind to yourself. Okay, you might have flaws is again a strong word, but you might have a few limitations, right? But now you're aware of those limitations. Despite those limitations, you are whole, you are complete, you are awesome the way you are. And now that you know this limitation, you'll obviously work on it. But again, it's a practice. So please be kind to yourself. Please love yourself as you take on this path of becoming a better listener. Okay, now Niyati, I know that you are very dedicated and you are taking this path of mindfulness forward with you. So I am sure that this mindfulness practice will help you. Yeah, so just be patient with it. And again, this is a practice. This is not really okay. I was not a good listener till Monday 6 p.m. and on Monday 6:01 p.m. boom, I'm a great listener. No, it's a practice again, right? So yeah, these are a few tips I believe which will help you become a good listener. Have you been a good listener to this video? If yes, hit like or comment and let me know if you're liking these videos, or if you think I suck, let me know, and have a good day.